you for joining us, whether it's morning, noon, or night, wherever you are. It's actually night for me. I'm coming to you today from London. Thank you for joining us for this very special presentation, which is one of my favorite events during each year. I just love the opportunity to attend any of IWIRC's honoring events where we give out our very special IWIRC honors. And so it's a privilege to be able to open this ceremony tonight, where IWIRC will honor the outstanding women who have contributed with their exceptional contributions that have had such a profound impact on our organization this last year and in the past. One of the highest honors that one can receive is an IWIRC Founders Award, and it represents a very special recognition, and especially more significant this year, where we've all continued to adapt and face the challenges that we've faced during this pandemic and these challenging environments. We have seen remarkable efforts and progress within IWIRC this tough year, and I could have never imagined that even through these tough times, we've added 4 new chapters: Indonesia, Ireland, Korea, and Latin America. For any of you ladies from any of those new networks who are here tonight, welcome. We are glad you're here. And during a year that we've lived on screen and instead of in person, we've actually brought this organization close to 1,800 members, spread over 49 networks now throughout the world. So while COVID has forced us to bring our previous efforts and challenged us to think afresh and come together, we have also achieved a great deal. And tonight we are going to honor and celebrate the remarkable women who have gone above and beyond, taking IWIRC's mission to the next chapter. So as our world continues to change and our focus is to continue to connect and promote and celebrate the success of women in the insolvency and restructuring profession around the world, today's recipients have just excelled in just that. They've created a profound impact on the mission and will continue to break boundaries and open doors, sharing the practices and building and enhancing our business relationships. So congratulations, ladies, to all the nominees and award recipients tonight. I look forward to seeing all of you either virtually or in person at our annual and first in-person event for our fall conference in Indianapolis. And congratulations again. And I'll turn it over to Jennifer Kimble, who will present our first award winner. Jen?
Thank you, Leyza. Good evening from New York, and good morning to those of you in other parts of the world. My name is Jennifer Kimble. I'm an attorney at Lowenstein Sandler in New York City, and also have the privilege of serving as IWIRC's Vice Chair. This evening, I'm presenting the Fetner Award, which is named in honor of IWIRC's founding Vice Chair, Martha Fetner. It's awarded to a member for exemplary service to IWIRC through efforts over the past year or several years, and specifically aimed at bringing members together through regional and international conferences, efforts, and relationships. The award is given to a member whose contributions to IWIRC have helped fuel growth and expansion of IWIRC's mission globally. And I'm pleased to announce that this year's recipient of the Fetner Award is Aisling Dwyer. Aisling is a partner with the Maples Group in Hong Kong. A barrister by training, Aisling specializes in complex, high-value, international cross-border litigation and acts in some of Asia's largest offshore corporate, insolvency and restructuring, and shareholder disputes. She's been a member of IWIRC for over 10 years and has a long history of leadership positions with the Hong Kong Network, including serving as co-chair of the Hong Kong Network Board in 2016 and 2017. She subsequently served as the Asia Vice Director in 2019 and 2020, and this year Aisling serves on the IWIRC International Board as the Asia Regional Director. In addition, for the past 3 years, Aisling has served on the steering committee for the IWIRC Woman of the Year in Restructuring in Asia, first awarded in 2018 to recognize women in the restructuring and insolvency industry in Asia, who have inspired and skillfully led a restructuring team, provided creative solutions and innovative legal applications in the profession. As part of the steering committee, Aisling has been instrumental in securing nominations and sponsors for the award, as well as presenting and promoting the award recipients. She's also been part of the organizing committee for the IWIRC Asia Conference, which was first held in 2018 in Hong Kong and again held this year. The regional conference connects the 7 and actually now 8 with the addition of Indonesia, IWIRC Asia networks for technical sessions and networking. Finally, Aisling has spearheaded the Connecting the Dots series, an Asia-wide leadership conference connecting the leaders of the IWIRC Asia networks together. This series became a staple during the pandemic and was aimed at connecting the network leaders to build relationships, address recruitment and succession planning issues, and other leadership issues, even though the network leaders could not meet in person. Each of these contributions to IWIRC Asia, while noteworthy standing alone, have dramatically increased the profile of the IWIRC Asia networks and furthered the IWIRC brand across the regions. As stated by our nominator, the end result of Aisling's efforts is a more united and connected group of women across Asia, keen to support each other and integrate, which is crucial to IWIRC and its objectives being fostered and developed in the regions. At this time, I'd like everyone to please join me in honoring the 2021 Fetner Award recipient, Aisling Dwyer. Aisling, I'll turn it over to you.
Thanks, Jen, for those very kind and generous words. It's a real honour to win this award, and I'm genuinely chuffed. I'd like to first of all congratulate Tara on her own award and the Carolinas Network, and look forward to hearing more and celebrating their triumphs after this. Sorry that it's not in person. It'd be great to get an excuse to travel the world again, but it is really nice to see so many friendly faces and familiar names on the screen this morning. It reminds me of the various IWIRC experiences that I've had since I joined, and in the more later years when I managed to get traveling and go on, as we'll say, international duty. My first time arriving on the international scene, so to say, was when Hong Kong won the Redwine Award in 2016 and received such a warm welcome at the spring conference in Washington, and just was blown away by the camaraderie and spirit of the organization. And I finally, I guess, understood what it meant on the international scale, having enjoyed and contributed at IWIRC at the Hong Kong and maybe Asia level at that stage. I particularly remember Beth Hansen, who was the chair of international that year, wearing, I think it was purple and green for the entire conference. So this morning I've tried to channel my inner Beth with a nod to the IWIRC colours, and love that commitment that you see all across IWIRC at all stages. I guess special mentions and highlights might have been Toronto, where it was Let's Go Blue Jays, and shout out, I think, to Melissa Hager for teaching me as it take me out to a ball game. An Irish woman learning those words was all good fun. And I think possibly other highlights were in Philadelphia when the running club, if I call us that, the ladies who like to meet in the morning ahead of the conference, get a little exercise in and a chat, of course. We hit the rocky steps, and I think Michelle Pickett and Nancy Valentine, there were loads of photos of us all with our power poses. So really great memories, and I hope to make more of them as the years continue, and hopefully in particular if we get back in person to certain events. I would like to say a big thank you to the Hong Kong Network for nominating me and for their, again, very generous words in that regard. I really enjoyed my time in the Hong Kong Network and on the board, and whilst involved, was particularly proud that we grew to over 200 members. We ran Cantonese language events for our local practitioners. I think we got to a stage of running one event every month for the entire calendar, which was impressive going. And we really hit, I think, social media hard with our hashtags and our DMs and whatnot. So brought us all, I think, into the 21st century in that regard. As Jen mentioned, the last few years I've been more involved at the Asia level, and I've been lucky enough to work with true IWIRC stalwarts and inspiring women like Eloise, Pooja and Aruni, and they've shown me the way and inspired me to do a lot more, and realised that there's a greater mission here in Asia that we can certainly bring forward and push and develop. So I'm very grateful to them. as Jen and Leyza also mentioned, with our 8th network here in Asia now, it's very exciting times for us. Lots to do, but nonetheless, so many women to connect with. Jen has set out a few of the things I have been involved in, and I guess we're particularly proud in Asia this year of our Woman of the Year award, going to our first Indian recipient. We have so many wonderful women involved in IWIRC from India, and it's great for one of those ladies to get recognition on a wider stage now, and it's been in the Indian press and whatnot, so I'm really thrilled about that, to raise both her profile and the profile of IWIRC and the women who contribute all across Asia. I guess, look, to sum up, for me, IWIRC is a wonderful organisation. It's the kind of place that's full of the doers, the supporters, the cheerleaders, the advocates, the sponsors, all of those positive role models that we hear about so much in a work context, and they're really needed, I think, in our industry. It's an exciting time with so many new networks across the world and plans for so many more, but it's a busy time because I think I guess in the last year or so, the sort of social unrest we're seeing and the pandemic all remind us that I guess the position of women and minorities in the workplace, there's still a lot of work to do. But I think no better community than ours to rise to that challenge. And I think we will push forward. We'll dance, thanks to, I think, our Latin American contingent. We'll run, thanks to the runners, and we'll really work hard towards further progress and success for our organisation and our members. So look forward to being part of that journey. Thanks.
So I believe that I am next, and I have the honor to present the Ryan Award. The Ryan Award was founded in honor of IWIRC's founding secretary / treasurer, Laureen Ryan. The Ryan Award is awarded to the IWIRC network that has best exemplified IWIRC in the past calendar year. And this year, the Ryan Award goes to the Carolinas Network. The Carolinas Network had suffered in the past years with lack of leadership, but through the efforts of Jane Downey and Rebecca Redwine, the network is once again thriving. This last year, network leadership has focused on making sure their members saw the benefit of being part of this IWIRC network through multiple events, and as a result, their membership grew at a time when other networks were losing members. They hosted in-person and virtual events, and these events were designed to be different. For example, they held an event with a personal finance class over desserts and cocktails. They had a boat tour and a flower arranging class. Actually, that was one I was trying to get to and didn't. Once COVID hit, immediately they transitioned to virtual cocktail hours and reached out to sister networks in Florida, Georgia, and the Gulf Coast to join together to promote common goals of connecting our members and increasing membership. The Carolinas Network initiated a social media campaign to promote its network and provide a platform to members to both connect them and be a spotlight their success of individual members. The board created a social media chair and established accounts on Instagram, LinkedIn, and a Facebook group. Additionally, the board worked to make sure the transition of future leadership would continue to be strong by selecting a rising chair who was invested in the organization. They've created culture where the past chair and current chair and rising chair all work together on events and programming for the network so they don't lose the energy by transitioning to someone who is unprepared to lead and, to the best of their ability, set up their leadership team for success. The Carolinas Network has contributed to IWIRC. First, they were the first network to reach out to sister networks to join virtual networking events. And this was done prior to the IWIRC having initiated the pairing of networks. The Carolina Network immediately saw the benefit of connecting with other networks when everyone was stuck at home during the pandemic. Additionally, Jane Downey, the immediate past chair, who is now an IWIRC director, and Rebecca Redwine, who is the vice chair of the spring programming, are very active on the in the international board. They've also done many other IWIRC events on the international level. And at this point, it is my pleasure to present the award to the Carolinas Network. And I believe that Rebecca Redwine is going to accept.
I will happily accept. Thank you, Margie, so much for those awesome comments. And on behalf of the Carolinas Network, I just say thank you to the board for this incredible recognition. I'm honored to be able to accept it on behalf of the Carolinas Network. And I will say, I have learned that an organization is really only as strong as its leadership. And so the comments were well taken, in that I only stand on the shoulders of those who have come before us and have helped to grow this network, starting with Ashley Rusher years ago, and of course, just most recently, Jane Downey in the last 2 years, have really made our network grow and just really, really flourish. And so you're right, when Jane was chair and I was rising chair, we went to lunch and we had a delicious meal and shared a couple of drinks, and we talked about how we could best serve our network and how we could best grow it. And I'll say that we came up with one common goal, and that was to make sure that our members understood the value of their membership with IWIRC Carolinas. And we thought, how can we achieve the goal? And we came up with two things. One, celebrating our members, and two, connecting our members. So then COVID hits, and after we have a pity party and we go through a moment of grieving over having to cancel our first, what would have been incredibly awesome CLE in Asheville, North Carolina, and cancel cocktail hours and luncheons and all sorts of fun things, we took a moment and then we pivoted and realized very quickly that it's not the event itself, of course, but it's who comes to those events. And whether it's virtual or in person, it's our members that make our network. So we connected with our sister networks via Zoom. We highlighted our members on social media and all of their accomplishments. And my goodness, I would be so remiss if I did not talk about how incredible our members are and the accomplishments that they've had over the last year. I mean, we've had everything from clerkships for Delaware judges to statewide pro bono recognitions and awards, to 2 of our members being recognized and inducted into the American College of Bankruptcy. And certainly not last or least is our newest bankruptcy judge in the Eastern District of North Carolina, Pam McAfee. So I think by celebrating and connecting our members and ensuring that we've got great leadership to come, including Jill Walters with Womble Bond in Raleigh, who's our rising chair right now, we will absolutely continue to grow our network and just weave this incredible web of women leaders that are located throughout North and South Carolina. And this award is as energizing as it gets and as motivating as it gets. And I'm just super lucky that I just happened to be the one in the chair to accept the award, but I certainly accept it on behalf of all of our members and all of our leaders that have come before me. So thank you so much for the opportunity, and congrats, of course, to the other wonderful winners tonight.
Well, congrats to your network, and thank you everybody for being here. My name is Evelyn Meltzer. I am a partner at Troutman Pepper in their Wilmington, Delaware office, and I am the Vice Director of Finance, and I am here tonight to present the Melnik Award. So give me 1 second so I can flip what I wanted to say. The Melnik Award is named for the IWIRC founding chair, Celinda Melnik, and it is awarded to a member whose contributions to IWIRC over an extended period of time have made a lasting and substantial contribution to IWIRC. And I can think of no one more deserving of such award than Tara Schellhorn, this year's recipient of the Melnik Award. Tara is a partner in Riker Danzig's bankruptcy and corporate restructuring group, and her practice focuses on all aspects of bankruptcy and restructuring, as well as bankruptcy litigation. Tara's practice also includes civil litigation, both in federal and state courts. Tara has been an active member of IWIRC for many years, both at the local, regional, and national level. On the local level, Tara serves as the co-chair of the New Jersey network. On the regional level, Tara is the past chair of the IWIRC at the Shore Conference, a conference that is very near and dear to me as one of the original founding members of the conference in New Jersey. Tara worked on the conference for many years, first as a member, and ultimately she became chair of the conference and now serves as ex officio. And I can attest firsthand to the hundreds of hours she put into that conference to make it everything that it has been and continues to be. Additionally, at the national level, Tara serves as the vice director of fall programs, or she has served, excuse me. She also previously served as the U.S. Programs Committee co-director, and she currently serves as the U.S. regional director. When COVID hit and the world stopped, Tara did not. She immediately jumped into action, planning and transitioning many of the events that had been planned for in-person events to virtual events. She juggled her work responsibilities, as well as 2 small kids, and yet found time to spend countless hours coming up with topics, locating speakers, and overseeing all the aspects that went into these virtual events. As a result of her hard work, IWIRC did not miss a step in providing social, educational, and other programs to its members. Moreover, as a result of Tara's efforts, IWIRC now has a blueprint for how to continue to provide virtual events to its members for the foreseeable future, which is critical to its continued success, especially as an international organization with members all around the world. I've been honored to call Tara a friend for many years, and I can think of no one more deserving for this award. Tara gives 110% of everything she does, and IWIRC has benefited time and time again from her efforts. Many of you may not know this, but Tara is the first in her family to go to college. She's a true testament to what you can achieve through hard work. All you have to do is look at her firm bio and you will see the countless awards that she has won. IWIRC is truly blessed to have her as one of its leaders. Please join me in congratulating Tara on being this year's recipient of the Melnik Award.
Evelyn, thank you so much. It's hard to get started here. I'm like tearing up a little bit, and it means so much to have Evelyn be able to introduce me on this, as I've followed in her footsteps in so many ways. And thank you for that, Evelyn. I really appreciate everybody who logged on tonight to join me. As you know, somebody who really promoted these virtual events over the last 18 months, I know it's getting harder and harder to log on with each one that comes. So I appreciate you joining me tonight or morning or wherever it is where you are. So thank you. And congratulations to Aisling and to the Carolinas Network on their well-deserved recognitions. It's a pleasure to be sharing this with you all this evening, and I look forward to a time we can toast in person to that. So LinkedIn told me this week that I've been with my firm, Riker Danzig, for 13 years this week, which means I'm about a week shy of 13 years as an IWIRC member. I was fortunate enough to join IWIRC almost immediately upon becoming associated with Riker Danzig, and you know, quite frankly, I never looked back. And it's hard to imagine that it's 13 years because you know, they say the days are long and the years are short, and I think that this is really true. I was thinking about it and getting ready for tonight, and I remember going to my first IWIRC conference and watching Jen McLemore receive the Melnik Award. And I had just made my first IWIRC friend, Kim Brown, and we sat there and we watched that, and I checked the website, and apparently that was 2012. So I'm going to believe the website, but it's hard to imagine. And I can assure you all that as I sat there at the time as, you know, a very young lawyer, I never thought that I would be in the position where I'd be receiving that award and following the footsteps of so many women that are mentors to me and that I've looked up to in this profession. But I guess, you know, accomplishing that kind of encapsulates what IWIRC is all about, which is that I think working together and putting in the effort and you know, being a doer, like Aisling says, is what the organization promotes. It's what the organization values, and I'm just really so thrilled to be recognized for my accomplishments. I don't want to take up too much more time this evening, and I'm just going to say a few quick thank yous. The first is to my firm, Riker Danzig, which is my home for the last 13 years, and to my colleagues who were able to join me tonight on this call. I've been really lucky to be at a place where I've had the full backing of my firm, you know, financially, from a time perspective, and all of that sort of stuff with my involvement at IWIRC from the beginning. And you know, it's great to be at a place that values that. That's what's really enabled me to, I think, you know, spend the time that I needed and wanted to really invest in IWIRC. And I know that with me tonight on the call is our head of marketing, Michelle Delavan, who has countless times helped me out with all things IWIRC, and I really am so excited that she was able to be here to see this tonight. So thanks, Michelle, for putting up with me, I guess I'll say. I'd also like to thank all of the members of the New Jersey Network and the New Jersey Bankruptcy Bar more generally, including many of our judges who've been so incredibly supportive of IWIRC over the years. You all raised me from a baby lawyer to who I am today, and the mentorship I've received, particularly from so many people in the IWIRC network in New Jersey, has been just invaluable. Many of the people from New Jersey weren't able to be here tonight due to a conflicting event, but I know they're here in spirit, and I appreciate their well wishes. I'd also just like to take a moment to recognize all of the IWIRC members and mentors that I've been lucky enough to have, and the way I think that this organization really rallied over the last 18 months to engage and make sort of what I put together with some others a success and a reality. The opportunities for leadership in IWIRC, I think, are second to none, especially for younger women in the profession. And having risen up from New Jersey and New Jersey Network chair into roles on the international board, I certainly didn't think as the co-programming director that we were going to be moving from, you know, 2 conferences to an all virtual platform, but it was interesting to say the least. And it's something I'm proud of. I think we really pulled it off well. But thinking back on it, I also feel really fortunate because I think that in the midst of all of the chaos that was going on at the time between, you know, working from home and quarantine and homeschooling, it really gave me something to focus on and be centered on, you know, something that I knew I could kind of channel my energy. So I appreciate folks trusting me to move that forward. I remember telling myself time and time again, just keep swimming. And I guess I also would like to say, I appreciate everything Evelyn had to say about it, but I'd also like to thank a number of other people who were really instrumental in everything we were able to accomplish with respect to kind of our shift to virtual. Obviously, Sherry and her whole staff, Michelle Pickett, who at the time kind of tasked us with moving that forward, and you know, I think trusted the judgment of the programming committee, which was great. My co-programming chair, Jody Dubas, and Rebecca DeMarb, who was also very involved every step of the way. Looking back, I guess I'll say it was fun, but I might need a little time before I truly feel that way. You know, IWIRC has taught me so much, and I have so many mentors and great friends that I've made along the way, and I appreciate all of the women always reminding me to lift up the people around me and to pull up those behind me, and it's something I keep in mind all of the time. I also, I guess, would sort of conclude by saying that one of the best things I've gotten out of IWIRC, I think, is being able to be surrounded by people who let me be myself and showed me that there's different ways to practice law, there's different ways to be successful as a professional, and helped me kind of find my footing and to do it my way. And I just hope that others are able to get that same comfort level. And so finally, I'd like to thank my family who was able to be here with me tonight, rushing home from football practice. My husband, Chris, who is himself a busy lawyer and always seems to have eternal patience for whatever I've decided to say yes to next. And both of my boys, Teddy and Sam, who are right here next to me. I think the silver lining is they get to be here to see something, something like this. I'm so happy to be your mom, and that's my most important job. So thank you all. I really appreciate you being here.
Thank you so much, Tara, and congratulations. Congratulations to Aisling, the Carolinas Network, and to Tara. It's just so inspiring to hear everyone sort of reflect on what they've been doing over the last year and what this award means to them. In the time we have left, we're going to do